Hey guys, cobradvs here. And as of late, with pickups videos, they've basically been all I've been doing. And I try to make them as enjoyable as possible. And, but this is the kind of pickups video where I could literally not say one word and just show you everything. And it'd be enjoyable. Because what I've found, what I have in this room right now with me are several things I never thought in my life I would ever get lucky enough to find. Um, and I found them all at good prices. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna buy stuff for, or that's part of the reason why I don't have games like Earthbound and stuff, because I don't want to spend $100 on a game necessarily. I probably will eventually, if I don't find it in the wild, that is. But stuff like that, I don't know. Stuff like that's the kind of stuff that I sort of hope one day to get, and I sort of wait for that day. And sometimes it happens, and it happens more often than not. To be honest with you, it's kind of surprising how some things work out. But let's go ahead and get this shit started. So I put up an ad on Craigslist because a lot of people like to get rid of their shit. Last time I put this fucker up, I got like 50 replies from people. And a lot of the time, people think that I regularly buy like NESs and stuff and just sell them. That's not what I do. I collect. I don't need 8 Nintendo systems. You know what I mean? So, so a lot of them, about half of them, if not more, are completely a waste of my time. I'll get somebody's like, "What do you give for a Genesis with all the hookups and Sonic the Hedgehog 1?" I have zero interest in that. Absolutely zero interest in that. I wouldn't even buy it for a. Okay, I'd buy it for $1. Um, but I have no interest in stuff like that. But now and then, you get people who say, I'm just throwing this out here. Yeah, I have a Sega CD with 5 Sega CD games, and the Sega Genesis comes with it. That's stuff that I look for. That catches my eye. So anyway, I got a call. It was about 8 o'clock at night, and I put in the ad that I prefer to text, even though talking is actually easier to negotiate. I feel like it's just less awkward, um, or email, of course. Um, but so the guy calls me, goes, I got an Atari. I got an Atari with like a bunch of games and stuff like that. And I mean, and it's just like, okay, all right, I've heard this a million times. And it's not that I don't like the Atari 2600. It's just they're all over the place. Everybody has one. They're so common that I really don't collect for it too much unless, not only that, but I don't know hardly anything about it. If you would have told me, I know about Air Raid, the extremely rare game, but some like the more uncommon and rare games, I don't know. You wouldn't I couldn't tell you what's rare for the 2600, whereas I could for the NES or something like that. So that's another thing that has to do with it. So anyway, and I said, well, to be honest with you, I really don't collect for the 2600 too much. I've already got one and plenty of games, so I really don't have much interest. And then he says this. You listening? Are you listening? He says, oh, I've also got this Sega Master System with like 20 games and the gun and some controllers, and that's what these babies listen for. If somebody says Sega Master System, they just perk up. You know what I mean? Uh, so like, oh, okay, no, that's something I'd be interested in. What do you have? Starts naming off games. And I'm just like, jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. I'm just thinking, awesome, these are great games that I've wanted, or at least I'll take. You know what I mean? And so he goes, well, I said, I like to say, well, do you have a price in mind? And about 90% of the time, they have no idea. And I hate making offers because I always want to lowball people, but then I don't want to say the lowball price because I don't want to insult them. So I try to give them generally fair. So I said, okay, I'll give you. I wouldn't feel comfortable going over 40. He says, that's fine. And so I said, oh, okay, all right. So 40 for the system, the 20 games, and all the stuff. Yep. Okay. And then he says, all the games are basically, they're all in boxes except for 2, and I knew that before I made the offer. So like basically like 20 boxed games and 2 of which are loose, I guess, whatever. For 40 bucks, it's not bad. I'm probably just gonna. This is my second Master System, so I'm probably gonna just try and resell that one. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get this shit over. He gave it to me in this box, which I don't need. I don't know. I have 2 Master Systems in here, so we'll say it's this one. So here's the Master System. I put the controllers in a different box. Here's the light phaser. There's controller 1, controller 2, and then all the hookups are in there. It was RF, not AV, but that's what I expected. So anyway, that's not why I really wanted this unit. I really wanted the whole thing because of the games. So let's get into the games. These first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Okay, they're all doubles. All of them are for sale or trade or whatever, aside from 3, because I already have somebody looking to get them. And those 3 are these. The first one's Ghost House. It's one of the Sega card games. A lot of these are complete, too. Not all of them, but some of them are. Hang On and Astro Warrior. That's a good one. Here's Double Dragon. It's in pretty decent shape. It does have a sticker here. I'll have to get off. Well, that one just peeled right off. I'll get the stickers off for him. But anyway, there's those 3, and then these. None of these are really that impressive. Great Golf, Pro Wrestling, Monopoly, and Shooting Gallery. Now I'll probably get rid of this with one of the light guns. Oh, that's complete. That's nice. Okay. Alright. Now these are the games that I really was excited for. We'll start in alphabetical order. The first one is Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars, complete in box. Next is eSWAT. This is a late Master System title. You can tell by the logo, Master System logo. This one does not have the manual. The next one, Great Basketball. This one is complete, I believe. Yep, and it's even got one of those posters in there. The next one is Lord of the Sword. This is an RPG. This is complete in box as well. Kind of looks like The Adventures of Link, to be honest with you. Legend of Zelda 2. The next one is Maze Hunter 3D. Now, this was the only 3D game in the lot. And, crap, the game's not even in here, but it's in my Master System. But I don't have the 3D glasses, so I was hoping maybe he had them. But either he didn't tell me he had them and didn't give them to me, or he did have them and forgot or something. But that was the only 3D game, Maze Hunter 3D. Another RPG, Miracle Warriors, Seal of the Dark Lord. Again, this one's complete as well. This one has some writing on the manual. Penguin Land. This is an interesting game. It's kind of bizarre, really. You just look up some gameplay of this damn thing. It's weird. It's not bad, but it's weird. Rescue Mission. This is a light gun game. This is also complete. Wow, actually, majority of these are complete. And then the last one was another one that really caught my eye. Wonder Boy and Monster Land. This one's half-assed complete, and what I mean by that is it's got the manual, kind of. It's got the first page and the last page, so it's basically not complete at all. And something weird about this game is, look at the front. It clearly just says Wonder Boy and Monster Land. Well, look at this cartridge. It says Super Wonder Boy, Super Monster Land. Not only does Super Wonder Boy, Super Monster Land sound more stupid than Wonder Boy and Monster Land, this doesn't even make sense. Why would they do that? They can fit Super on this shit. Whatever. It's supposed to be a good game. We'll have to give her a shot. And then the 2 loose carts. The first one is Columns, and the last one's, I wish this was complete in box, Ghostbusters. But no big deal there. And then this next purchase. Quite a few months ago, I went to a flea market in Columbiaville. Now, I live in Michigan, so anybody who knows where Columbiaville is, thumbs up, rather. And it's a small-ass town. Like, if you're driving through it and you blink, you'll miss the fucker. You won't see it. It is little. Um, so during the winter time, went to the flea market. Not very good, but I did get some stuff. I got like an NES game, a couple Genesis games, some pretty good stuff, like Mutant League Hockey. I got it there. Um, so I was at work yesterday, and I get a phone call from my friend Drew. Now, usually when I get phone calls from him, it's because he's at a Goodwill or Salvation Army, and he sees something that maybe I'll be interested in. So I'm pretty anxious to answer this phone call. He picks up the phone. He says, "Hey," I said, "Hey, what's up?" He goes, "Hey, I'm at the Columbiaville Flea Market. I'm staring right now at a Model 1 Genesis with a pair of 3D glasses." I said, "Well, pick the fuckers up." You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? Just get the damn thing. And then he said it's got like 5 sports games or some bullshit like that. Guy wants $30. And I said, "Well, wait a minute. Are you sure it's a Genesis?" Yeah, Genesis. I said, "But the Genesis doesn't have 3D glasses." He goes, "Wait, Genesis? Did I say Genesis?" I said, "Yeah, you said Genesis." "Oh, I meant Master System." And I'm flipping shit at this point. You mean right now you have a Master System in your hand with the gun? It has the gun too. Controllers, hookups, no games, and 3D glasses. Yeah, for $30, and he won't separate it. Damn. I didn't like that. I didn't like how he wouldn't separate it. I tell you what, if you have something like that, you separate that shit, because I don't want a Master System. I just want the glasses. Maybe the gun, but the glasses. $30, man, that's a good deal. It's a killer deal. But at a flea market, I'm not crazy about $30. He goes, "And I don't have any cash on me." And I said, "Well, I'm at work. What am I supposed to do?" I said, "How much money does Shannon and Monica, the 2 people he was with, how much do they have?" They said, $24 total. I said, "All right, you tell the fucker at the flea market, will you take $24? And if he does take $24, I'll pay Monica and Shannon back 30. So they'll make a few bucks, and I'll get it for 30, which isn't great, but hopefully I can make my money back by selling the Master System." Oh, man. So we got it, and I couldn't have been more excited when it happened. So let's go ahead and show that. You know what? I don't think I even need to show the Master System. You know what it looks like. It's that big long gray box. You know what the light phaser looks like. And you know what the controllers look like. So I got one of those. It didn't work at first. I had to clean it, and it's still a little finicky, but it is working. But here's the thing. Here is what I was really interested in. These 3D glasses. The Sega Master System 3D glasses. I never in my life did I think I'd be holding these. Let me just unravel this 8-foot long cord. I mean, look at these things. These things make those 3D glasses at the movie theater look like garbage. Let's put these bastards on. I should just do the video on these. Wow, trippy. Huh. I wonder what it would be like if I just wore these in public. I wonder what people would, I bet they'd think I was blind or something. Idiots. But no. So, I'm super pumped about that. And not only that, but now the Maze Hunter 3D. I got a 3D game, 3D glasses. Life is sweet, baby. Alright, so that's almost it for the Master System. Now, this last thing is an eBay purchase, and it's a game for the Master System that people need to get. Problem is, some people like to charge a little bit, but I got this for $10, and I couldn't be happier. It's a Phantasy Star. There is no manual, but, that's fine. I mean, $10 is a good deal, and if maybe I get another copy down the road with the manual, we'll see. But I'm really happy about that. Phantasy Star. Have yet to play it, and we'll see how it is. I've heard good things. Alright. Gotta catch my breath. You know it's like going to be 100 degrees this week in Michigan? Which is horse shit, by the way. 100 degrees. I mean, 100 degrees. You can fry an egg on shingles at 100 degrees or some shit like, that seems like something that you could do. It's not right. It's not right. So I'll be drinking a lot of water. Maybe a little more Coke. I do like Coke anyway. Today's pickups. That was all stuff I got yesterday. Today, went to Goodwill. Yada, yada, yada. Go in there, look at where the movies and sometimes the games are. Nothing. Not shit. They had 2 Genesis games, NHL 96, and God knows what else. Uh, so I go over to where they keep, like the electronics. I'm not seeing anything. I see a PlayStation 1 for $8 with 2 controllers, but I don't have any use for that. And nothing. So I go back over to my friend Drew, who's still looking at the fucking books. Whatever. I don't know what the hell he's looking for in the books, but anyway, I said, well, you about ready? I'm not seeing anything. He said, well, hold on. So he looks at the books, and it's like, come the hell on. They're just books. People got rid of them for a reason, right? Yeah, they suck. That's why they get rid of them. So anyway, we go back and we start going towards the electronic stuff again. And I'm just sort of, doing one of these numbers, sort of looking. And I turn my head up to the right because I notice a big white box. And I turn my head up to the right, and I see this blue C with like a flag thing in it. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Commodore. That says Commodore on there. What is that? It's a Commodore disk drive in box for the Commodore 64. And this is what it is. Man, this bastard is heavy. So here's what it is. It's the 1541C disk drive for the Commodore. It does not say Commodore 64, but that's, I believe, because it works for more. Alright, sorry about that. But anyway, here it is, the 1541C. It's got the power cord in there, the cord that connects it to the Commodore, and whatever. So I see it and I grab it. Now, obviously, I got it. But I looked at the price tag, and it was $25. At Goodwill. Come on, people. That's awful. That's not good at all. They don't know what this is, I bet. Probably not. So I look at it, I'm like, I don't really want to spend $25 on this, especially because I don't have a Commodore. I'm sort of looking at it, and then I'm sort of, just shaking my head. No. Off to the side, what do you think I fucking see? What do you think I see? Go ahead, guess. Did you guess? If you guessed Commodore 64, you're fucking right. Also, in box. I mean, this box is in mint condition. The other box is a little beat up, but this box is in very good shape. So there that is. Oh, no, it's not mint. There's a dent in the back. Motherfuckers. Oh, well, whatever. But I did get this, and this did not have a power cord in it, and I figured, you know what, that's probably going to be a bitch to replace. So I talked to the guy, and I said, this doesn't have a power cord in it. Could you go down? He said, I can only go down $5. So I took a gamble, got it. Get home, guess what's in the Commodore 64 disk drive box? The power adapter to the 64. Yeah, we got all the cords. Whew. Stoked. Super excited about that one right there. Oh, and then I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but I also picked up He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Volume 1. 20 episodes, bitch. 20 episodes. Just a couple bucks there. I like that show. Yeah, it's a cartoon. Yeah, it's a cartoon. I know it. Anyway, bought it. And I knew the guy knows me that I checked out with, and so he was able to cut me a little deal, like getting the $5 off and kind of like that. My friend went to the other guy that was operating the other line, and the guy that was working in the other checkout line that my friend was buying something from said that he wanted that Commodore 64 and disk drive, but since he works there, he can't get it until like 3 days after it's on the shelf. He was going to buy it and sell it on eBay or Craigslist or something for like $300. So not only did I foil some bastard's plan to sell this for a profit, not even care about it, just sell it for profit, I also got it for $45. Yeah, $45 is a little high, but I figure worst comes to worst. If I do need some quick cash, I'm sure these are probably collectible. Plus, I have an Atari 800 XL, so now I'm sort of getting into the classic computers too, and I know Maximum RD likes the Commodore. He likes the Amiga, I think, more than the 64 or something like that. He's familiar with the Amiga, which I don't know what that is. I'm sure, and I think it's a computer. Is it the one that came out before the 64? I really don't know. I know very little about this garbage. Excuse me, it's not garbage. I know very little about this stuff. I do think classic computers are cool because of the programming features. Now, programming is something I've always wanted to get into, but it's just, you might as well try teaching me fucking Latin, because it's just so confusing. So that's it, fellas. I mean, we got I mean, these 3D glasses are incredible. I can't believe I have these. We got the Commodore boxed, the disk drive boxed. The only problem is I need games for those two. So if anybody has any extra games, let me know. If anybody's interested in a Sega Master System, a Light Phaser, or any of the doubles I showed besides those 3 that I already have somebody interested in, let me know. Otherwise, eBay's probably going to be fishing them out. How do you ship a Master System? I mean, Jesus Christ, the things like this, what do you ship it in? I don't know. Well, I don't care. So that's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, thanks for watching.